I was thinking this is such a head-spinning movie. I don't know how you, for me, trying to describe it to somebody, whether it's flash dance on acid, whether it's burlesque with balls, or I don't know whether it was a way that Zach came to you guys and said, "Well, this is my idea," because it's quite a crazy movie. How would you describe it?
An epic action fantasy that takes you into unknown worlds. It's about friendship and how far you would be willing to go for your friends and your fight for freedom.
Yeah, escapism, journey into some sort of like a reality in a world that can be impending on one's own state of mind.
Well, I was thinking the look. I mean, that's somewhere between Metropolis and Blade Runner, and yet the world is sort of Dickensian with a sort of emphasis on the dick. I don't know whether it was easy to get into that world, to sort of get into the mind frame, because there's a lot of CGI, and I don't know whether that was quite a thrill getting into it, or whether there's a lot of work.
There wasn't actually as much CGI as you might think. There was worlds where it relied more on green screen. But for example, World War I, that set was entirely built around us, and all of the stunt guys and the actors were dressed head to toe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even in the dragon and orc world, bar some surrounds and the dragons, all the guys were there dressed as orcs and knights and. So a lot of the times we kind of felt like we were in the world, and the rest was so wonderfully created, through storytelling by Zach to us, that it kind of filled all the gaps.
And the physical challenge, like, you turned out to be quite handy with a hatchet. I don't know whether all that physical training was quite tough, whether you had to do a huge amount of, weekly exercising. I don't know what way it worked for that. Was that quite a challenge?
Yeah, like 3 months prior to filming, Abbie, Jenna, and Emily trained with Navy SEALs, stunt choreography. Vanessa and I joined a bit later, but we all kind of got thrown into this physical challenge, and it continued throughout the filming. And not only that, we had dance rehearsals stacked on top of, our weapons training, stunt choreography, physical training. So it was kind of all over the place. Mm.
I was thinking about Nigel Tufnell and Spinal Tap and his struggle between sexy and sexist. And
right.
Certainly there's times here where this whole movie just seems to be written by a very horny 12-year-old boy. I don't know for you guys whether it was quite liberating and fun to play sort of male fantasies, or whether it was like a challenge again just to live up to this idea of what these girls should be.
It's interesting. I feel like I didn't really indulge in the exterior and judge it or objectify it at all. I felt like I was playing the big sister of Rocket in an insane asylum in the 60s. We worked incredibly hard on the backstory and the relationship and the dynamics, and then I felt like I was given these platforms to explore my character in other dimensions. It was kind of like I could rotate this. I had something that was three-dimensional that I was able then to rotate and look at it from different angles in different lights.
I was thinking through the weekend, it did fairly well in the States, but certainly critically it got the sort of kicking that normally is reserved for M. Night Shyamalan movies. That sort of reaction that a lot of critics, and it wouldn't be aimed for them, of course, there's a different kind of market, but was that something that caught you by surprise, or did you expect in a way that...
I felt like there was always going to be criticism and mixed reviews, because it's the nature of that type of film. I mean, it's so different, it's so unique, it's very innovative, it's so... it's such an impact, I mean, it either hits you in a great way and you love it, or it hits you and you're like, you either don't get it or you don't like it. It's a love-hate thing, It's like anything that's kind of, exploring the arts to such a full-on degree. You kind of know there's going to be a mixture of things come back from that.
I was thinking too, looking at the movie, like me, you're all young and sexy and very talented, and I don't know whether, given the nature of the business that you're in, is that kind of a tough one to live up to? Because I mean, certainly in this movie you all look fantastic, but that sort of I don't know, it's hard work to be who you are right now. That always being aware of the fact that this is your job, is to look particularly a certain way in a certain movie, or is it hard work for you guys?
I think sometimes the beauty of being confronted with certain situations is that it allows you to, explore yourself and ground yourself and center yourself even more. The last few weeks for me, being on the junket with Limitless and being on the junket with Sucker Punch, has actually been quite an incredible feeling. I mean, first of all, I'm surrounded by wonderful people that I love, but there's something about kind of, being focused and being switched on that is kind of a very wonderful, calm, place to be, and to be productive too. I mean, gosh, we're all working girls. We're really lucky.
Yeah.
Ditto. Okay, I think I'm giving the friendly finger. Lovely to talk to you, ladies.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you.